Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the broadcast booth here at the Watertown Civic Arena. You're watching the YouTube feed of the Watertown Aero Activities on the good old-fashioned YouTubes. I'm David Tewksbury. Thanks again for lending us your ears. A very, very good Friday to you. Happy Veterans Day to you and yours. Want to thank all the veterans, past and present, for all of their service to this great nation, defending us both home as well as abroad. For those of you just joining us, Presentation College downing the Trojans of Dakota State University in straight sets. Once again, for the first time in 2,215 days, the Saints defeating the Trojans of DSU. Coach Amy Wienhoff has done a great job with that Dakota State program, but today, at least in this afternoon session, technically the morning session as the Saints and Trojans had their first serve at 10 a.m., it belongs to the green and gold as the Saints, they advance to take on the Bruins. That'll be tonight at 5 o'clock. But upcoming next, for my money, maybe even, at least on paper, potentially the best game, best match of the day. 4 versus 5. These are typically very, very good matchups. And you can just take a look at the raw numbers. Both of these head coaches, first and foremost for Valley City State, Bridget Graywater, and of course for Mayville State, Lindsey Johnson. They have got both of their respective programs on the right track. And both of these teams play very, very well, particularly against each other. Both of these contests went to 5, with Valley City winning 1 and Mayville State winning 1. So, at least on paper, this ought to be a pretty good matchup between the Vikings of VCSU and the Comets of Mayville State. VCSU, they come into this one with a record of 11-16, 6-8 in the North Star. The Vikings looking to edge the Comets. Of course, the Comets 16-17 and 7-7 in the North Star as well. Let's go ahead and kick things over to our public address announcer, as we will have first serve coming up in just a bit.
Between the Valley City State University Vikings and the Mayville State University Comets. Please direct your attention to the center court for our champions, the character team members from Valley City and Mayville, who will be advanced with a ceremonial handshake. Congratulations to Ellie Rush of Valley City and Cory Johnston of Mayville State. Of these student athletes who best represent the 5 core values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of the starting lineups. First, for the Mayville State University Comets. Number 1, outside hitter, Samantha Pista. Number 6, the defensive specialist, Kate Linder. Number 10, Sarah Rachel Hill. Number 14, outside hitter, Elora Pesta. Number 17, Emil Ashley Clyburn. Number 21, House. And the Barrows, number 18, Natalie Agava. Assistant coaches, Michelle Middlejohn and Jaden Wilson. Head coach of the Mayville State University, Lindsey Johnson. And now the starting lineups for the Valley City State University Vikings. Number 1, outside hitter, Bailey Nelson. Number 5, middle hitter, Morgan Nelson. Number 10, outside hitter, Danielle Hagler. Number 11, a middle, Morgan Freegee. Number 13, right side, Emma Lucas. Number 15, the setter, Sadie Hansen. The Vikings libero, number 19, J.C. Richter. Assistant coaches, Sherry Cooley, Taylor
Both teams set to exchange pleasantries here. As the Saints, they'll take on the Bruins. That'll be at 5 o'clock. And the winner of this contest gets the #1 seed, Viterbo University V-Hawks. We'll have coverage, of course, of both of those contests right here on Watertown Aero Activities. As we welcome you right back inside of the booth here, just underway. Very, very early stages. First serve controlled by Mayville State as Ashley Pyburn, she will earn the kill for the first point of the contest. Mayville State on the right-hand side of your screen with their black tops and black trunks with white numbers and blue trim there as well. The Vikings of VCSU, gray tops and black trunks with white and maroon trim and white numbers. Valley City State on the attack right now. This is the Comets with the swing, and that's going to come down to the floor for Mayville State. As Abby Cox puts it down to the floor for the first time, Mayville State leads 2-0 in the very, very early stages of this first set. As the Vikings go back on serve receive, far side swing for Nelson, gets through the block, picked up by the Comets. In the middle, backside set, and that one's going to go just out of bounds. And an attacking error for Horton, I believe. And J.C. Richter will serve now from left to right as we see it, the libero from Linton, North Dakota. A couple of dribbles, an exhale, hand goes skyward. She'll put it in play. Pass by Mayville State in their back row. This is Pesa setting up far side swing for Cox. Dug out nicely by VCSU, but Richter's volley goes out of bounds, and Mayville State will get the serve back, leading it 3-1 in this first set. For those of you just joining us, Presentation College defeating the #3 seed Trojans of Dakota State 22, 25, and 22 in straight sets. Valley City State on serve receive. Near side swing gets through the block, but picked up by Mayville State. They'll dump it into the near side corner by Pesa, and that one is out of bounds as the Vikings will earn the point, and they'll go back to the service line here. And who's going to receive a Spalding here? It's going to be Delaney Clark, freshman from Bismarck. She'll put it in play. Sends it over to the near side, and Samantha Pesa with the dig. There's a big rip, picked up by Valley City. Nelson, dug out by Hadrava, tries to keep it alive, and the kill for Bailey Nelson. That's going to be her first of the contest. Northern Cass High School, the Jaguar, another multi-sport athlete, softball and volleyball back in the day. We're tied up at 3 apiece. On the joust, a little miscommunication between a couple of Comets, and they're going to call a violation on Mayville State. So the Vikings will earn the serve back and a 4-3 advantage. And it will be Hadrava digging it out. Backside swing, gets through the block but out of bounds. Attacking error for Nicole Horton. And the Vikings earn the point back and a 5-3 advantage. And once again, this will be Clark putting it in play for VCSU. Hard swing gets blocked and just out of bounds. Nicole Horton earns the kill there for Mayville State. Mayville 4, Valley City 5. There's a jump float sent over, passed by Richter in the back row, near side swing. It is down to the floor for VCSU and Morgan Nelson. Valley City earning that 2-point advantage back. And Bailey Nelson's going to take a seat on the bench, or at least stand up for the moment, as Lexi LaRue is going to check in here for VCSU. Lexi LaRue, Valley City High School, the Highliners there. Sends it over to Hadrava. This is Pesa, near side, hard swing down to the floor for Mayville State. And Samantha Pesa getting her first for the Comets of MSU. Rachel Hill will serve things up here for Mayville State. She'll serve it from right to left as you see it. Dug out by Valley City on serve receive. Will be tapped down the line, but picked up by Mayville State. Near side swing, gets through the block for the moment. Was that a pancake? They say no, and put down to the floor by Samantha Pesa. That's going to be her second. Samantha Pesa, of course, her, let's see, is it older? Yep, older sister. Elora on the program there as well. More on the Paces throughout our broadcast today. 6 apiece. Mayville State to serve. On serve receive, kind of hard time here as Valley City a little bit out of system. They'll send it over, the Vikings do, but picked up by Emily Condon. Now on the far side, it's going to be free balled over by Mayville State and Sadie Hansen. Near side going to be tapped over. Nice dig defensively on the joust. It's going to be over to the far side of the floor and down to the floor for VCSU as they earn the point, the serve, and a 1-point advantage, 7-6 in this first set. Checking in is going to be Ellie Rush, Champion of Character Award winner here for Valley City State. 4 across the back line of defense for Mayville State. Rush, the approach, passed in the back row by Mayville State and Condon. Hard side swing, near side to that far side, and put down to the floor once again for Mayville State. Elora Pesa earns the kill there for her first of the contest. Barnesville High School Trojan native. Again, another multi-sport athlete, volleyball, basketball, track and field. That's a theme. You're going to hear that throughout our broadcast today. Big block gets through, controlled here by Mayville State. Going to be tapped over, picked up by Valley City in the middle. Big swing dug out nicely by Condon. Going to be tapped over by Mayville State. Valley City has to use this far side swing. It's going to be tapped back over by Mayville State. Now dumped over, but right on back from Sadie Hansen. And now comes to the near side, and Mayville State just way out of system. They'll have to free ball it over. They do. Far side, hard swing. It's blocked, kept alive somehow by Mayville State. Now just tapped down to the floor as head coach Graywater with a fist pump and saying, let's go ahead and get that point, as Hagler puts it down to the floor for the first time here today here for VCSU. Danielle Hagler, North Star High School, the Bearcat, just happens to be playing here in the North Star Conference. And it'll be Sadie Hansen to put it in play into that back row for Mayville State. Comets in system and right down to the floor for Elora Pesa, her second. 8-7 your score in favor of the home squad. And now after that last point, we're tied up at 8 apiece as Richter will put it in play. Passed by Valley City in their back row. Hard swing is blocked and down to the floor for Mayville State. And it looked like it was Cox as well as Pyburn there for Mayville State as Mayville earns the point right on back. Comets put it in play. Passed in that back row, now in the middle, hard swing. And Hadrava's going to give chase, but to no avail. And we are tied up at 9 apiece once again. Natalie Hadrava, of course, voted yesterday within the conference as the co-libero of the year. It was something you don't see too often, but Natalie Hadrava and Adriana Reinhardt of Viterbo named co-liberos of the year. This is Hadrava on serve receive, near side for Cox, blocked, but picked up by VCSU. Another swing, down to the floor this time for Emma Lucas, her first. Both teams kind of just figuring each other out here a little bit, very early stages of this first set. Both teams are hitting a $158 each, and we said this is going to be a pretty even affair, no question. Mayville State on serve receive with Hadrava. Far side swing, down to the floor for Elora Pesa. We've got her for 3 here early for Mayville State. Comets 16 and 17 overall on the season, 7 and 7 in the North Star. Vikings 11 and 16 and 6 and 8 in conference play, as there's an attacking error from Morgan Freege, but let's be honest, everybody is 0 and 0 right now outside of Presentation 1 and 0 and Dakota State 0 and 1. Saints advancing to that Final Four. Nice aggressive serve here. Valley City going to try the cut shot. Perfect ball placement right there by Emma Lucas. Very astute position. Nice job by the freshman Emma Lucas on the play from Northern Cass High School. We're tied up at 11 apiece. This is J.C. Richter. Jump float sent over. Picked up by Pesa. Near side swing is blocked. Mayville State gets it back on the joust. It's going to be tapped over. And a nice piece of offense by Nicole Corton on the play for her second kill of the contest. Nicole Corton with 264 terminations on the season. Good for 3rd with this program this year. Comets looking to extend their 1-point advantage with Natalie Hadrava. Jump float, going to be a little bit short. And a service error for Natalie Hadrava. Now we're tied up at 12 apiece. Winner of this contest will get the #1 seed of Viterbo. Mayville State this season against Viterbo 0-2. Valley City this season against Viterbo 0-2. Only 1 loss for the Vikings. Excuse me, only 1 loss for the V-Hawks, I should say, in conference play, and that was to Bellevue about a week and a half or so ago. Far side, Nelson takes the swing, but goes right to Pesa, and Pesa comes up with the kill for her 4th. Nelson just drilled it, but Pesa just put up both of her hands, made contact with it, comes to the near side, and they're going to call that one out of bounds, of course, so no point there for Pesa, pardon me, so stick her with 3. 13-12, and a kill in the middle for VCSU and Morgan Nelson, her second. And now we are tied up at 13 apiece. Lexi LaRue navigates to the service line. Again, a hometown gal there from Valley City, the highliner from VCSU, or from Valley City High School anyway. So VCHS, I suppose. Hadrava's going to have to go all the way in the back row for the attack. It's going to be picked up here by Hansen. Big block in the middle. Valley City's going to get it back, though. A roll shot. What do we got? A whistle and a violation on Valley City. Point goes to Mayville State, as does the serve, and a 1-point advantage. Rachel Hill to put it in play for MSU. Hill the approach over the top of the tape. Nice dig defensively on serve receive. Far side swing, Hadrava is ready for it. Mayville State near side swing is going to get down for Samantha Pesa. That's her 3rd kill. Mom, of course, coaches at NDSCS there in Wahpeton. And Samantha said her team rallied back from a 24-1 deficit and won a match in the playoffs in high school. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'd be very, very curious to see a fact check on that one. 24-1, wow. On a dump play, Hadrava makes contact with it. Ball goes out of bounds. Point goes to VCSU, and once again, you kind of seesaw back and forth as the Vikings take a 15-14 deficit to try to tie this thing up at 15. It'll be Ellie Rush, champion of character. On the serve receive, it is Hadrava. Hard swing for Pesa. Dug out nicely by VCSU on the joust. Nice ball placement once again for VCSU as Freege puts it down for the first time. Mayville State hitting 259 to the Vikings 222. We're tied up at 15 all here. Mayville State, technically the home team on the scoreboard. Valley City the visitors because of the seeding. On serve receive, this is Samantha Pesa. Far side to left to free ball it over, they do. Vikings control with Delaney Clark. Far side hard swing for the kill for the Vikings of VCSU. Give one more kill to Danielle Hagler, her second. 16-15 the Vikings. And the right back to serve here as well from left to right as you see it. The approach into the net. 16 apiece. And it just feels like these teams are so evenly matched that anytime someone's about to go on a bit of a run, it just doesn't happen. I mean, Momentum is a thing, particularly in the game of volleyball. Such a high emotion sport, but you know, it's going to be hard to see lots of consistent runs for either of these squads here today. That speaks to their opponent. Hard swing. I think that one was out of bounds. Cox earns the kill, or does she? One referee said it was out of bounds, and the other one said that it was contacted. So, yeah, that's not right. So Hansen serves. Vikings with a 17-16 advantage, and now they'll just get that point right on back as it goes into the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th row on there on that far side. Nice job by the guy in the hoodie over there, making the catch. And see, that happens when you don't have your head buried in your cell phone. Mayville State to serve to try to take the lead here. We're tied at 17 apiece. Here's the slide, and that's going to be a block. Nice job by Elora Pesa for Mayville State. And the Comets earn the point and the serve and the lead. 18-17 your score. And once again, they will serve from right to left. Put in play, controlled by Mayville, or make that the Vikings, I should say. Nice dig by Hadrava. Near side, Pesa, big rip. Nice dig defensively by Hansen. And now they'll push it into the back row. Mayville State got to use this if you're a Comet fan. They'll set up backside for Cox for the kill. Abby Cox, her second, and I would think maybe a timeout might be coming up here for VCSU, and it is. 19-17, Mayville State leads by 2. We are back after this short word from our natural sound folks. Mayville State 19, Valley City State 17 on the scoreboard. As the Comets will serve from right to left right now, looking to extend this advantage. Put in play by Richter. Valley City trying to slice into this deficit. We're going to have, I think, a net violation on the VCSU. And, you know, it's kind of hard to say a three-point advantage is a commanding lead. But in a matchup like this, you might say it could be 20-17, the Comets. There's the serve sent into the back row. VCSU on serve receive. Far side swing by Hagler, sent over. Controlled by the Comets. This is Cox. Valley City, though, ready for it. We'll have to use this. The Vikings do. They'll send it right on back on the push through. Hadrava, near side for Pesa. Tap it over for the kill. Elora Pesa has 4 by my calculations. Mayville State hitting .250, and head coach Graywater says another timeout, please. 21-17 your score. You're watching the NSAA Super 6 on Watertown Aero Activities. Mayville State goes +3 on the scoreboard. They're looking to finish off the Vikings in this first set. VCSU and Coach Graywater taking their second of their final timeouts. This is Hansen setting up far side, big block. Valley City can't quite keep it alive long enough as Ashley Pyburn and Abby Cox combine for the block there for Mayville State to give them a 5-point advantage. And now the Comets trending the right direction. There's the serve. Nice pass in the back row by VCSU. They'll try the slide, tap it over. Hadrava is right there, ready for it. Rachel Hill setting up a teammate, controlled by VCSU. Hansen for Hadrava. She was ready for it. There's the dump, picked up by VCSU. Vikings got to use this. A running roll shot. Hadrava is ready for it, though. Hill near side for Pesa. She's blocked. Hadrava digs it back out again. Far side, tap it down the line on a cut shot. Picked up by VCSU. Big rip. Hadrava gives chase, but to no avail. Valley City needed that. Danielle Hagler gets her 4th kill of this first set. And now Hagler will navigate to the service line for VCSU. Hagler's nickname, Danimal. Remember those back in the day? They still have those? I don't know. All right. Mayville State on serve receive. They'll send it over on the top of the tape. That's going to be close to a lift, I would think, and Morgan Frigie is going to earn the point. Just like that, Comets, their 5-point advantage trimmed down to 3. And big serves upcoming here for Danielle Hagler. Hagler puts the right hand skyward, puts hand to ball, put in play, controlled far side, big rip. It's blocked by the defense. 1 and 11 of Nelson and Frigie, and I think you take a timeout right now if you're Lindsey Johnson, and she will. 22-20 your score as the Vikings are battling tough. We're back after this from the Watertown Civic Arena. Certainly would not anticipate anything different between these two well-coached programs. Very competitive first set. The Vikings looking to get back into it. They're only down by 2. Cox on serve receive. In the middle, going to be tapped over and a kill for Mayville State and Ashley Pyburn. And that is a big one because Mayville State kind of was starting to feel that momentum slip away for the moment, but they now get it back. And they will serve from Elora Pesa. Vikings on serve receive, near side swing, it's blocked. Vikings get it back though, nice communication. Far side Nelson, dug out somehow by Mayville State. Near side Cox, I don't think that one got over the net. That should be 4 hits. An antenna violation indeed, and the Comets earn the opportunity to go back on defense. This will be J.C. Richter to serve for VCSU. Try to trim this deficit down to 2. Richter jump float sent over. Nice aggressive serve there. Nice little set up to the Comets, but they'll send it right on back. Now it's Hadrava in the middle for Pesa. Big swing just out of bounds by Nicole Corton. And now the Vikings with 1 point can draw even. 23-22 your score as it's Richter to serve for VCSU. She'll serve on the left-hand side, that 5 zone, gets over the top of the tape. Nice job on serve receive. They'll set backside, gets through the block and out of bounds. Kill for Mayville State as the Comets will send Abby Cox off the floor after picking up her 3rd kill, and Natalie Hadrava can give Mayville State a victory here with a point. Far side Nelson gonna kind of roll shot it over. Mayville State sends it right on back, though. Richter for Nelson again, gets through the block. Picked up by Pesa. Near side swing. Richter is there in the middle. Big rip. Hadrava kept it alive. And we pushed into the back row by Mayville State. Vikings control. Nice job by Nelson, but somehow Mayville State keeps it alive. The roll shot goes just out of bounds. Good effort by Nicole Horton. Or was that Richter? That's 6, not 5. Yep, that was Richter, pardon me. 24-23, Vikings trying to take this thing into extra points. Delaney Clark will serve for VCSU. Mayville State going to send it over. Nice quick offense here. Vikings control it. They'll push it into the back row. That'll stay in. And now the swing gets through the block, controlled by VCSU from Pesa. Big rip. Hadrava kept it alive. It'll be pushed into the corner. It's just out of bounds. Just out of bounds, and we're going to extra points in this first set. Referees were right on top of it. First to 25, but you got to win by 2. That's the way it goes. And the Vikings and Delaney Clark will put it in play for the lead. Nice job on serve receive, set backside, big swing, gets blocked, and they'll try again. Vikings are ready for it with Delaney Clark. Far side, Nelson gets through the block. Pesa, near side for Samantha Pesa, blocked again. Comets get it back, she'll try again. That is gonna get over, but the Vikings send it right on back. Set backside, hard swing, dug out again. It's Hagler, controlled by the Comets. Set up far side, gonna tap it over, down to the floor for Mayville State. It's Nicole Horton, her 3rd of this first set. The transfer from Central Lakes College in Brainerd, Minnesota gives Mayville State a 1-point advantage. 25-24, Mayville State trying to win this thing in extra points. Here's the jump serve, sent over, picked up by Richter. They'll set up far side for Nelson for the tie. Bailey Nelson ties things up, and you got to get her going. You know, if you're a Viking fan, you want to get Bailey Nelson rocking and rolling. Now north of 400 kills in her senior campaign here for this season. Of course, north of 1,000 in her career. Mayville State on serve receive, they'll send it over. Comets do, in the middle, big swing gets blocked, dug out by Richter. They'll set up far side, big swing. Mayville State ready for it with Emily Condon. And Mayville State trying to earn the point here, and they will. Samantha Pesa picks up her 4th, and the Comets take that 1-point advantage right on back, 26-25 in this first set. What did we tell you? This was going to be a good one. Mayville State to serve, jump float, sent over the top of the tape, passed by VCSU on serve receive. Far side swing, Hagler just out of bounds. So Mayville State, they take the first set 27-25 in a very, very spirited affair. And both teams will exchange ends of the floor. The Vikings will move to the right-hand side of your screen. And Mayville State the exact opposite. And we're coming on right back after this. It's the Super 6. watching the NSAA Super 6 right here on Watertown Aero Activities. David Tewksbury along for the ride with you, sir, or madam, the watcher, the viewer, as it were, listener, too. Great to be with you on this Veterans Day Friday. Want to give a big shout out to this entire crew. Ryan Remmers and company putting together a great crew for this broadcast today in the North Star Athletic Association. We appreciate you being welcome into your living room on this Friday. Valley City. I thought that ball hit the ground. They say no. Vikings are going to get it back. Near side swing. Nelson. Great dig by Hadrava once again. Far side Cox takes the shot. It's picked up by Richter. Near side. Now in the middle. Big block. Picked up by VCSU. They'll set backside. And down to the floor for the Vikings of VCSU as Emma Lucas earns the kill there. Mayville State in that first set, hitting a $151 collectively, out-digging Valley City by 6, 28-22. Valley City hitting a $125. Morgan Freegee led the way with 4 kills for VCSU, 6 kills for Elora Pesa for Mayville State. On serve receive, this is Cox setting up near side for Pesa for the kill. Got to be a lot more specific there, Tukes. That's Elora Pesa, by the way. There's a couple of Pesas in the floor here today. Pesa already with 7 quick ones for the Comets as we're tied up at 1 apiece. Elora will serve from left to right. Passed by Richter in that back row on serve receive. Pesa kept it alive somehow. Now flat-footed, sends it into the back row. Valley City ready for it. Setting up backside tip. Hadrava gives chase. Keeps things alive somehow, some way. And they'll go with back row attack. Valley controls. Near side swing. Hadrava not this time. Kill goes to Bailey Nelson. I've got her for 3. Nelson can juggle and is fluent in 3 different instruments: ukulele, piano, and saxophone. I know none of the above. I know air guitar, that's about all I know. 2-1 the Vikings. Pesa gonna tap it over. Dug out nicely by Delaney Clark. Near side swing, it's Nelson. Passed by Mayville State. Big rip, somehow dug out by Richter. Giving chase was Hagler, and they'll free ball it over. Mayville State got to use this. Pesa on the slide. Nice ball placement right there by Ashley Pyburn for her 2nd. Check that, that's her 3rd, I should say. Pyburn's 3rd. You've got Abby Cox with 3, 4 from Samantha Pesa. Very balanced attack for the Comets as we're tied up at 2 apiece. Hadrava sends it over to Richter. Libero to Libero. Going to be tapped over. Hadrava can't quite get there. For the co-libero of the year, good effort. As Hansen earns the kill there for VCSU. Her 3rd. Lexi LaRue will serve for the Vikings. Hadrava running roll shot, sends it over. Thought that might be a dump, but instead going to be a block for the Comets. Holy smokes. Ashley Pyburn just threw up the hands and said, "You're not getting that in here. No way." And we are tied up at 3 apiece in the 2nd set. Cora Johnson's going to check in for Peyton Richter. Johnson won champion of character last night for the Comets. Richter sends it over to Valley City. Can be tapped right down the line. Mayville State gives a good effort to it, but not quite enough for Nicole Corton. And Nelson going to earn the point there. Morgan Nelson for the kill. That's her 3rd. Morgan Nelson once again, Northern Cass High School, the Jaguar. Sister, of course, Bailey. 4-3 your score. There's the serve sent over to Hadrava on serve receive. Pesa setting up far side. Just going to tap it over. Hagler was there ready for it now. This is Pesa sending it back. That's Samantha Pesa. Big swing just out of bounds on the near side by Hagler. And the Comets and Vikings are tied up now at 4 apiece in this 2nd set. Comets won the first set 27-25. These teams played each other twice, as all teams do in the North Star every year. Both teams got at least 1 win, 1-1, and each of those matches went to 5. Sent over by Pesa. They'll go with the backside slide. Good dig defensively. Now kind of fisted over there by Cora Johnson. And now sent into the back row. Mayville State controls. In the middle. Nice dig by LaRue. She was ready for it. Big swing near side for the kill for Danielle Hagler for her 4th. 5-4 your score. VCSU with the advantage. 5-4. Vikings looking to extend here. Flat-footed serve, passed by Samantha Pesa. Set up far side for Elora Pesa, who earns the kill. Also a net violation there too. And we are tied up at 5 apiece once again. Here's the serve, controlled by Valley City. They'll set up near side for Hagler. Right into the back row though for Samantha Pesa. Far side for Elora. She'll dump it on over. Hagler was there ready for it, kind of pinching in. Sent down the line. Wow, what a dig by Samantha Pesa, keeping that play alive. Sent into the back row. This is Hansen. Near side for Hagler. Again bringing the shovel is Mayville State. Now here we go again. Near side swing. Hagler. She's blocked, but out of bounds. Danielle Hagler now officially with 5 kills as Mayville State and Valley City State continue to seesaw and teeter-totter back and forth. This time the lead goes to the Vikings. 6-5. And they talk about teams bringing their shovels, but I guess for the Vikings, you'll have to say they brought their oars. All right, dad jokes are free, guys. Going to be dumped over there by Pesa. Vikings are ready for it, though. Going to be tapped over. Vikings keep it alive at the top of the tape on the joust. This is Richter near side. Fading away was the Vikings for the kill attempt. Now it's blocked again. Ball sky high. Who's going to put it down? Nobody, as the ball goes out of bounds. And we're tied up again at 6 apiece. Cora Johnson's going to check out. And the DS, Peyton Richter's going to check in, defensive specialist from Castleton, to try to give the Comets a lead. It's tied up at 6 apiece. Pedrava gives chase, and they'll free ball it over. The Vikings do, the Comets do, I should say. Near side swing, hard block, but down to the floor. Give credit to Elora Pesa for the block. And Mayville State earns that lead right on back. It's 7-6 in the second set. Comets won the first set 27-25 as Mayville State gets right back to the service line for Nicole Corton. Ball sky high, big swing. Pedrava pinching in for the dig. Near side Pesa tries the cut shot. Nice job of defense by Sadie Hansen, but Valley City can't quite get it back on over. And Mayville State has back-to-back points, I believe, for the first time all set. Corton will serve. Played her high school ball at Sauk Center High School. They're the Main Streeters. I've heard of some interesting names for teams, but Main Streeters, that's got to be near the top. By the way, how does that even come to be? Well, it's named after Sinclair Lewis, first writer from the United States to win the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature. Wrote that book called Main Street. The more you know. Far side. This one's coming right into your living room. Morgan Freegee says, I'm the main squeeze here. She puts it down for her 5th kill of the contest. 8-7 in favor of Mayville State as J.C. Richter, the libero from Linton, will put it in play. Couple of dribbles, hand goes skyward. Here's the jump serve, sent over the top of the tape. Pedrava on serve receive. They'll set up near side for Pesa for the kill. Elora off to a great day here today. And you knew that she was going to be kind of their pick to click, if you will. Elora Pesa with 398 kills. Just 1 kill short of Bailey Nelson for VCSU, if you can believe it, coming into today. Near side in the middle. Good effort by Pesa. Pedrava gives chase, left a free ball it over. No. Peyton Richter could not quite get it over. 9-8 as the Vikings earn the point. Mayville up by 1 by the slimmest of margins. Comets hitting $176 in this one to just 107 for the Vikings. Comets on serve receive. They're a little out of system here, looks like. Flat-footed sent over. VCSU has to use this. Thought they might run the slide, but instead, you don't need to run the slide when you got Bailey Nelson. Bailey Nelson picks up the kill. I've got her now for 4. Check that. Nope, it is 4. Yep, Danielle Hagler with 4, as does Morgan Nelson. Morgan Freegee has 5 to pace the Vikings attack, and we're tied at 9 apiece. Comets on serve receive, nice job dumping it over, but VCSU was ready for it on defense, and a swing that just goes just a titch out of bounds. Attacking error, side out in favor of Mayville State. Natalie Hadrava, first team all-conference player, co-libero of the season in the NSAA, sends it to J.C. Richter in that 6 zone. Hadrava comes up with the dig after VCSU sent it right on back over, and just a little miscommunication, I think, there from Bailey Nelson and company. And Ashley Pyburn is going to get credited for the kill there. And Pyburn picks up her 4th. Nicole Corton has 3, Samantha Pesa with 4, Elora Pesa with 9 already. This is Richter on serve receive, set up near side Nelson, big swing, it's blocked, but VCSU gets it back with Delaney Clark. Vikings control for the moment, and now we've got a whistle P that's blown, and we're gonna have a lift whistled on Mayville State. So Valley City earns the point right on back, and with a point, they will draw even. To the service line comes VCSU, passed by Emily Condon. Big swing down to the floor for Mayville State. And Nicole Corton puts it down once again for the 4th time here today. And you know, one thing that should be noted, we knew and we kind of know that this is going to be a very, very intense match between 2 really, really similar teams. And you gotta pace yourself with screaming too. I mean, these girls, they want to, here's the slide by Hagler, dug out by Mayville State. Near side going to be tapped right down the line. Perfect ball placement by Nicole Corton. But, you know, you scream after every play and after every point. I totally get it. It's kind of the culture of volleyball. But don't forget, you're still playing tonight at 7 o'clock. And then if you're lucky, and that one you're playing tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So you got to pace yourself. Maybe they give out some lozenges. I don't know. 13-10 your score. Near side swing for the likes of Hagler. She's blocked. She'll try again. Nope, they'll just give it to the back row attack instead. Mayville State controls, hard swing. It's blocked, but picked up by Mayville State. They'll try the dump. Richter gives chase. She'll chase it down for Hagler. Again in the back row. Near side swing for the kill for Nicole Corton, who has 6. And 14-10 your score. And head coach Graywater wants to take a timeout to talk things over a little bit. Mayville State +4. We're back after this. It's the NSAA Super 6. Head coach Lindsey Johnson in her 15th year at the helm, getting this Comet squad ready to go here today, as they are +4 on the scoreboard right now, as Pesa sends it over to, I believe that was Ryerson. And I don't think that was Ryerson. I got to be honest with you, some of these girls' hair is a little bit longer than maybe I'm anticipating to, and can't see the numbers on their back at times, but side out the call. And Valley City now with a service ace. And going right back to the service line will be Ellie Rush. After that last exchange, Rush with the service ace. That's her 14th of the season. 14-12 your score. Rush, jump, float, sends it over. Controlled. Pesa takes the pass, and it's going to be kind of knocked over and just out of bounds by Cora Johnson. And she just didn't have her approach at all. And I think if you're Cora Johnson, better time you just say, all right, let's just reset our offense here a little bit. Trying to go too fast. 3 straight points for VCSU. And looking to tie things up are the Vikings. Here's the serve by Rush, and that one goes out of bounds. So the Vikings give the point right on back to the Comets. 15-13 your score. As Richter's going to check back in for the Vikings. And Rachel Hill to serve for VCSU. Passed on serve, receive. They might dump it over. They were ready for it. Mayville State was ready for the dump, but just could not quite handle it. Morgan Freege earns the point there. She kind of telegraphed it, at least I thought, up here. Mayville State was ready, but the execution just not. 15-14, Mayville State with the 1-point lead. Here's the serve by Hanson. Mayville State gonna tap it over. Did they get the pancake down? They did not. Mayville State earns the point. Cora Johnson. As Samantha Pesa will head to the service line for MSU. Set up near side for Hagler. Blocked again. Cox was there, as was Cora Johnson. And back-to-back points for Mayville State. Comets lead at 17-14. And Coach Graywater did take one timeout earlier, so just one to go. Richter, nice job on serve receive. Hard swing in the middle, blocked once again in the middle by Johnson. Near side swing by Hagler. Mayville State ready for it though. Far side, Pesa, big rip, just out of bounds. Elora Pesa with the attack error there. She was looking for her 10th kill of the contest. She'll have to be content with 9 for the moment. Mayville State out digging Valley City by a dozen right now, 46-34. Comets on serve receive. Far side Cox. Good effort, but Richter was there. Near side Nelson. Good dig again by Condon. She brings her shovel. This is Richter. Far side, gets through the block and down to the floor for Emma Lucas. Lucas with 4. Hagler has 4. Nelson and Nelson, both Nelsons with 4. Freege has 5. Very, very balanced attack here for VCSU. Comets are +1 on the scoreboard. They're on serve receive. Hadrava back in. Pesa sends it down the line. Valley ready for it. Far side. Mayville State with the dig. They'll push it into the back row, just down. Oh boy, what a perfect ball placement that was. As Rachel Hill is going to earn the dump kill for Mayville State University. Rachel Hill, 44th kill of the season, more than capable for those dump plays. VCSU on serve receive in the middle, big block, but out of bounds. Give credit to Ellie Rush, I believe, for the kill. Or was it Nelson? Yep, it was Nelson. So 18-17 your score. Mayville State with a 1-point lead as Richter navigates to the service line. From Linton High School, the Lion puts it in play. Good set, right to the top of the tape. Perfect ball placement for Ashley Pyburn as she hammers it down. Pyburn has 5. Elora Pesa to the service line for MSU. Puts the right hand to it, just gets over the top of the tape. Nice aggressive serve there. They'll set up backside. Hadrava gives effort to it, but down to the floor for VCSU as Emma Lucas earns the kill there for her 5th of the contest. 19-18 your score. Valley City looking to draw even with 1 point. Over the top of the tape. Nice aggressive serve there, getting Richter maybe a little bit out of whack. Vikings are ready for it though. In the middle, swing gets through the block. Calling for it in the middle and getting it, but Richter digs it out on the joust. Who's going to win it? Vikings control. They pushed into the back row. Perfect ball placement for the kill for Morgan Nelson. Oh, just put it where nobody is, and Morgan Nelson ties things up. She must have done her superstition before game time here, always putting that left shoe on before the right. A lot of these girls are very, very superstitious. Hagler with the dig. They'll try the slide. Far side. Down to the floor for VCSU. And earning the kill is Morgan Nelson once again. And I think a timeout taken by head coach Lindsey Johnson. 20-19 your score. The Vikings earn the lead, and we'll take a quick break, quick timeout here on YouTube.
All right, let's put your hands together.
20-19 your score on the scoreboard as the Vikings earning a 1-point lead. Vikings trail 1-0 here in this second set. For those of you just joining us, the Saints won the first match of the day in the 10 o'clock hour in straight sets over Dakota State, 22, 25, and 22. For the first Saint victory over DSU in 2,215 days. Saints had not beaten the Trojans since 2016. Vikings with the serve. Mayville State, near side swing, and now we are tied up again. Abby Cox ties it up at 20. Abby Cox with 4 kills. Elora pacing the offense with 9. Natalie Hadrava, the co-libero of the year, puts it in play. Libero to libero, it's Richter. Near side Nelson puts it down. Yes, she does. Bailey Nelson does indeed put it down. Somehow Hadrava nearly dug that one up. Almost. Natalie Hadrava averaging 6 1/4 digs per set. And now a service error for VCSU. And now we're tied up at 1 apiece. Yep, Hadrava has had herself one heck of a season. Set a career high earlier on this season, hitting north of, I should say, had north of 60 digs against the Saints. Backside swing, gets through the block. Nice dig defensively. Pesa kept it alive. Far side. Vikings giving chase near side from Hagler. Richter's going to free ball it over. Pesa setting up far side. Blocked for the moment was Samantha Pesa. They'll try again. Vikings got to use this to try to take the lead. Richter for Hagler. Yes! Hagler has 6. And VCSU earns that lead back 22-21 in this second set. Vikings lost the first set 22, make that 27-25. Ellie Rush is going to check in for VCSU. Played her high school ball out west in Oregon at Sisters High School, the Outlaws. Right hand goes to the ball. Hadrava on serve receive. Pesa to Pesa. Yes, for another one. Elora to Samantha. And we're tied up at 22 apiece. And right back to serve is Mayville State and Rachel Hill to try to give Mayville State the lead. Jump float controlled by the Vikings. Near side Hagler. Dug out somehow by Hadrava. Pesa gives chase. Then they'll send it over. The Comets do. Going to be dumped into the corner near side, but nice dig by Emily Condon. Sent over by Cora Johnson. Her second. And now Mayville State earns that lead right on back. And head coach Bridget Graywater says timeout. And we'll do likewise. You're watching the Super 6 at Watertown Aero Activities YouTube page. back inside the Watertown Civic Arena, almost like we never left. Mayville State leading at 23-22, looking for more, looking to win this thing as Rachel Hill puts it in play. Vikings on serve receive, gotta use this, and it will get blocked and out of bounds. Vikings earn the point, and the serve, and the tie. And the Vikings will send Sadie Hansen to put it in play. There's that knee brace because she got tackled playing freeze tag in summer conditioning. Interesting. There's the serve, controlled by Pesa. Richter with the dig. Near side in the middle. Somehow Mayville kept it alive, but not long enough. Vikings are a point away as Freege earns her 7th kill. Can you imagine that? Playing freeze tag. You gotta wear a knee pad. Hey man, things happen. Mistakes were made. All right, here is Mayville State on serve receive. They'll set up far side for Pesa. That one goes off of the antenna. And we are going to the 3rd set tied at 1 set apiece. 25-23 in a very, very competitive contest, and you knew it was going to be this way. Valley City losing the first one 27-25, but winning the second 25-23. Both teams once again will exchange ends of the floor, and we'll be coming on right on back after this. You're watching the Super 6 on YouTube. Well, thanks for playing Look-alike back at home on the Watertown Aero Activities YouTube stream. And if you put the camera on me, you'd note that I look like nobody. I'm a one of a kind. I got a face for radio, as my dad always said. Well, it's great to be with you here on this Veterans Day Friday for the Super 6. Valley City State and Mayville State. They are battling, and they will continue to battle. Far side Nelson takes the swing and somehow nearly kept that play alive, but Bailey Nelson earns the kill. That's her 7th of the contest. Morgan Nelson has 6 kills as well. Morgan Freege with 7 terminations, 5 each from Danielle Hagler and Emma Lucas. We've got Mayville State with 9 from Elora Pesa, 6 from Nicole Corton, Samantha Pesa with 5 kills as well. Comets hitting $175 for the match, 159 for the Vikings of VCSU. And a 4-hit violation is going to be whistled on Mayville State. And the point goes to VCSU 2-0 in this third set. Here's the serve by Sadie Hansen. On serve receive, Mayville State, far side Pesa. Somehow, Hagler brought the shovel for that one. Big rip. And speaking of shovels, how about Hadrava? Near side. This is Cox. Now, going to be a big block in the middle by Mayville State on the Hansen kill attempt. Hadrava somehow goes down to a knee and dug that one out. Cox sends it back in the middle. That one's just out of bounds. Oh boy, clapping her hands was Morgan Freege. She wanted that one bad. At the Langdon Area High School Cardinal, but not this time. Earliest volleyball memory for Morgan Freege, playing club volleyball back in 4th grade, and she says, I wasn't good at all. Well, she's pretty good now in college ball. They'll go back row attack. Dug out by Pesa, and Elora Pesa, that is. Now Richter somehow with another one in the middle. Controlled by Mayville State. Pesa setting up for a little one ball, and that down to the floor for Ashley Pyburn. Pyburn and her 6th kill of the contest. 2 apiece. Vikings get the first 2, Comets get the next 2. Vikings on serve receive with Nelson. They'll set up backside. Big swing is blocked once again. Pyburn has just been everywhere in that middle. Pyburn has had a really, really nice day here so far in terms of blocks. Had 117 total on the season to lead the way for the Comets. Nelson with the kill attempt, chased down by Pesa. Pass by Hansen. Richter back outside, and we're going to have another block. This one goes out of bounds off of VCSU though, and Mayville State is on a bit of a run here. They've got 4 straight points. They lead it 4-2 in the second set. As to the service line come the Comets, and Elora Pesa sends it over to Richter on serve receive, and a little out of system, but it worked. Mayville State was just ready for that ball to hit the floor, I think, and because the Comets just were like, they almost gave up on the play, but Freege earns the kill. It almost looked like VCSU was going to give up on the play, but they earn the point. Richter sends it over. This is Pesa setting up near side with the left hand, sending it over was Corton, but now it's Hadrava. Now a little one ball in the middle, controlled by, Bailey Nelson. Pesa sends it down the line. Richter with the dig in the middle for the kill for VCSU, and Morgan Nelson, her 7th of the contest. Check that, that's now her 9th. And we're tied up at 4 apiece. Mayville State with Pesa. Pyburn going to tap it over. Great job by Richter, and dumped right back over. That might be a lift. I'm going to call it double contact. Yep. So point goes to the Comets as Hadrava navigates to the service line. Adley Hadrava from LaPorte High School, the Wildcat, sends it over. Far side Nelson gets through the block, but dug out nicely by the Comets. Pesa sends it over to the Vikings side of the floor. Hansen was ready for it. Now Nelson takes the swing for the kill. Bailey Nelson, her 8th of the contest here. Valley City looking to take the lead here, 6-5 with a point. We're tied at 5 apiece. Sent over by Delaney Clark. Mayville State maybe a little out of system here. Richter with the dig. Set backside on the slide. Again, a little miscommunication. Mayville State ready for it, though. It's Pesa. We're going to have a whistle. That might be a double contact on Mayville State, and it was. As head coach Lindsey Johnson talks to her squad, saying, all right, we got to communicate a little bit better here in that middle. Danielle Hagler claps her hands and says, all right, let's go ahead and put this thing over here, Delaney. She does. One ball in the middle. Somehow Clark digs it out. And this is Nelson sending it back over to Hadrava. Now a big rip, but it's blocked. Samantha Pesa was blocked by the middles of VCSU, and Valley City earns back-to-back points. And they lead at 7-5 And now they get the serve right on back. Delaney Clark puts hand to ball. Hand to Bodden, if you will. In the middle. Big swing. Blocked, but Richter gets it out. Far side Nelson takes another shot. Hadrava, whistle. Contact with the net. And I think Coach Johnson might take a timeout. She will. 8-5 your score. Valley City leads by 3. And Mayville State burns their first of 2 timeouts in this third set. And we're back after this. You're listening to the Super 6 on Watertown Aero Activities YouTube page. Vikings to serve from left to right, leading by 3 as Hadrava's once again on serve receive for the Comets. And a big swing that goes out of bounds as the referee points that flag skyward. Ball out of bounds, and another point goes to the Vikings as they lead it now 9-5 as Delaney Clark has something cooking here from the service line. Vikings control, far side Bailey Nelson, another one for Bailey. She's got 9 kills, and Mayville State needs to put an end to this thing here. Mayville State #1 in the country in digs per set. They've got some work to do. Actually, just technically #1 in digs in the country in terms of overall digs. Got a couple more here now on this possession as a big swing, but a big kill. They needed that, did Mayville State. Samantha Pesa earns the kill, her 6th of the contest, but averaging 20.59 digs per set was Mayville State here this season. Top 5 in the country. A lot of that is Natalie Hadrava. This is Richter on serve receive. Mayville State, Elora Pesa with the pass. Near side, another Pesa, that's Samantha. Far side, Nelson, down to the floor again for Bailey Nelson. And Bailey Nelson starting to kind of find something here in this third set. And I've got her now for 10 kills total. She's hitting .267. And Mayville State, their defense needs to kind of bow their chest here a little bit, make some plays on serve receive. In that one zone, far side, Pesa gonna tap it over for Cora Johnson. Valley City trying to use this. They can't, not to this opportunity. That one was just in. Ooh, boy, that was close. Nicole Porton earns the kill. That ball must have been contacted by a Viking, because from our vantage point, that one looked like it might have been just a little bit out. 11-7, Comets down 4. This is Clark on serve receive. They'll try the slide, block. Nice piece of defense from MSU. Little roll shot from Morgan Nelson. Comets ready. Big swing. Was that contacted? I thought it was, personally. Coach Johnson can't believe it. I thought that ball was contacted by a Viking. Oh, that's a tough break. That ball looked to be contacted by an oar from the Viking. Tough break. 12-7 your score. And we'll get a replay on the YouTube channel here from our vantage point here in just a second. But right now, it is Pesa getting that point right on back. Samantha Pesa with the point. Yeah, I think that ball was contacted. Just saw the replay here. Coach Johnson was a little bit upset on that call, and I think she had a pretty good cause. 12-8 though your score. The Vikings lead it by 4. Big swing. And the Vikings say, I don't really care if you're upset or not. Danielle Hagler is going to give that point right on back, as Hagler now with 6 kills. Very, very diverse attack. Bailey Nelson with 11. Morgan Frigi with 8. Morgan Nelson continuing to impress with 8. Hagler has 5, as does Emma Lucas. Comets on serve receive, set up backside for Pesa. Give credit to Richter on the diving attempt. Now Hadrava and Cox give chase. This is Cox blocked, but a great dig defensively. Comets with a running one-armed stab comes a little bit empty. Good effort though. I think that was Rachel Hill. And the Vikings earn the point. 14-8 your score. Both teams working really, really hard. Sadie Hansen getting over the top of the tape. Hill setting up Pesa. She's blocked. Hadrava gives chase. Hill once again near side for Cox for the kill. Needed that one. Abby Cox with 5. Up to 162 on the season. Averaging 1.19 kills per set. Is the Tornado from Oaks High School. Track and field, basketball, volleyball in high school. A lot of these girls, 3-sport athletes. Here's the slide for another kill for Emma Lucas. But yeah, you know, if you're a high school girl watching this and you're thinking, hey, you know, what's it going to take to play at the next level, be it NCAA or NAIA? The answer, to be honest with you, is play multiple sports. Feels like better than 90% of these girls are multi-sport athletes. Mayville State on serve receive. Far side swing by Pesa. Dug out nicely by Hansen. They'll go back row attack. Hadrava is there. This is Hill. Near side for Cox for another one. Back-to-back points from Abby. And Mayville State, they draw ever closer. They do still trail 15-10 though. And Elora Pesa sets up to the service line for Mayville State. Sends it into that far side corner in that 5 zone. Near side swing. Pesa was ready for it there. Just tap it over. Richter for Nelson. Hadrava brings the shovel there. Cox. That is in. Absolutely. Great ball placement again by Abby Cox. She's got 3 straight. And Bridget Graywater steps up to the sideline there a little bit and says, let's go ahead and figure out to put somebody on number 21 there on that pin. And now that's a service ace for Mayville State. And Coach Graywater may be thinking about a timeout here a little bit. 15-12 your score. Comets down by 3, but they're on a run. Elora Pesa with the service ace, the way I'm calling it. Her 19th of the season. Pace a couple of dribbles of the bottom, puts it in play. Nope, does not put it in play. Just out of bounds. Boy, that's quick cat-like reflexes right there by the Vikings. It's like Neo in the Matrix. Right before you go ahead and hit it, you just say, whoop, take my hands back, I didn't do it. J.C. Richter, the running jump float. Passed into that 1 zone. This is Pesa, big swing out of bounds. Attacking error on Nicole Corton. Now, just like that, after you had that run, the Comets are right back down to 5 after you surrender those back-to-back points. J.C. Richter, the Linton from Lyon High School, the health sciences major, puts hand to ball and a service ace for J.C. Richter. Her first of the day, and head coach Johnson says timeout on the floor. 18-12 your score. The Vikings lead it by 6. We are back after this. This is the Super 6 from Watertown. Elora Pesa on triple-double watch right now for Mayville State, but the Vikings are looking to go up 2-1. They lead at 18-12 in this third set, and they have the serve with J.C. Richter. Nice aggressive serve into that one zone. Tapped over by Mayville State. I think it was Pyburn. Yep, it was. So give her credit there. Pesa with 9 kills, 18 set assists, and 7 digs. Natalie Hadrava with 26 digs already. Now she's at the service line, gets over the top of the tape. Richter with the dig. In the middle, Hadrava, give her 27. Far side, going to be tapped down the line on a cut shot for the kill for Corton. Her 8th. Samantha Pesa and Ashley Pyburn and Abby Cox all with 7 kills as well. Nobody in double figures in the contest as of yet for Mayville State. 18-14, VCSU with the lead. Passed in the back row, giving chase far side is Hansen. And now they're going to just dump it over. Nice job by Pesa. Elora Pesa kind of saying, all right, everyone get on my back here a little bit. I'll take us there. And Elora Pesa now with a double-double. 20 set assists, 10 kills. 3 digs shy of a triple-double. 18-15. Hadrava puts it in play. Pass by Richter. Far side, Bailey Nelson. Good dig defensively by MSU. This is Pesa for another one. Samantha Pesa. And I think if I'm Coach Graywater, I take a timeout right now. That's exactly what she will do. Volleyball is a game of momentum, my friends. Valley City had it all there a moment ago. Valley City says, we got this. Mayville says, you don't got it. Timeout taken as we seesaw back and forth from Watertown. Mayville State chipping away at this deficit as Natalie Hadrava navigates to the service line. NSAA co-libero of the year, or libero if you prefer. I prefer libero, thank you. In the middle, big swing just out of bounds. Yep, just barely out of bounds. Attacking air for VCSU, 18-17. This was an 18-12 deficit at one point, so 5 straight points for the Comets, trying to draw even here. Here they are on serve receive. Hansen setting up far side, going to be tapped over. Pesa sends it into the corner, and now Nelson sends it back. Comets control. This is Samantha blocked, but Hadrava is there. Elora dumps it over. Richter, far side for Nelson for the kill. Boy, that was a big one for head coach Graywater's crew. Bailey Nelson earns her 12th kill of the contest, and they needed that one badly. 19-17 as Delaney Clark navigates to the service line for VCSU. Played her high school ball at Bismarck Century High School, the Patriot. Nelson up in the air, blocked by the Comets. Now on the joust, it's Richter digging it out. Far side, Nelson. One big swing, but Pesa was there. Samantha tries again. She's blocked. How about Hadrava? Elora, backside for her teammate, Corton, for the kill. Her 9th of the contest. 19-18 as Emily Condon will serve from right to left. There's the jump serve over to Richter. Nice aggressive serve there. Nelson tries the swing, and that is a kill, a big one for Bailey Nelson. She's got 13 by my calculations. Also 5 digs on a block as well. 20-18 in this third set. Comets and Vikings are tied up at 1 set apiece. Comets won the first set 20-15. make that 27-25, won the second set 25-23. Pesa on the dig, far side, blocked and out of bounds, but give credit to Ryerson. No, was it Corton? Okay, Corton with the kill, pardon me. I was gonna say, I didn't see Ryerson check in. We haven't seen her yet today. So give credit to Corton there for the kill. 20-19, Comets trying to draw even with the point. This is Hansen setting up far side. It's Pesa. Samantha tries again. And that ball is just out of bounds as Natalie Hadrava sends both of her hands skyward and says, all right, Mr. Official, let's see that flag go in the air. On this side, it's Ms. Official, and we're tied at 20. High intensity points here. Over the top of the tape, good effort on the dive. Going to be pushed into the corner. Great dig defensively by MSU. This is Hadrava running roll shot. Richter is there, going to be dumped over on the joust. Off of the net, we're still alive. Ball gets over the top on the joust again. That's close to a lift. And now we have a whistle. I think that is a lift. And now head coach Graywater is not pleased at all. And I think she's got a case, but either way, I think you could have called a lift there. Coach Graywater got to be careful from getting carded there. She was very, very upset, and she just got carded. She gets the yellow card, and she says, okay, I got it. So that's the first card that we've seen here in Watertown. Mayville State earns the point, and she was very, very upset, looking for the call, and you know, I think more than anything, just really, really wanted that point. Man, tough call. Richter on serve receive, far side. There's a big swing and a block. And you know, sometimes when a coach gets a technical foul, or in this case a yellow card, sometimes that can fire a team up a little bit. And Danielle Hagler responds with a kill. And Hagler now has 7. And we're tied up at 21 apiece. Mayville State to serve with Ellie Rush. Jump float, sent over. Nice aggressive serve there. Have to tap it over. Valley City looking for this one for Hagler. She's blocked, and a great piece of defense. I think it was Pyburn in the middle. And now Hadrava departs. And Samantha Pesa to the service line for Mayville State. 22-21 in this third set. Pass by VCSU in that 6 zone, setting up near side. Dug out by Pesa, sent right back over. Far side Hagler, blocked and down to the floor. Elora Pesa was there. 23-21. Mayville State with a 2-point advantage, and the timeout taken by head coach Graywater. Comets with momentum on their side, and we'll see if they can finish it in this third set. We are back here in Watertown on the Watertown Aero Activities YouTube page. Presentation College advanced earlier. Mayville State and Valley City are battling here for a chance to dance in the Final Four against Viterbo. Near side swing, Cox, was it in? Just out of bounds, side out. Valley City earns the point after the timeout by head coach Bridget Graywater in her 3rd year of the program here with VCSU, doing a nice job turning around this team. Very, very competitive as Hansen puts it in play. Chased down by Hill, far side Pesa, good dig by Valley City, gonna tap it over. Kept alive by Hill on the joust, put down to the floor by Hagler. Or wait a minute. Coach Graywater is gonna just be incensed. Boy, I'm not so sure about that. Man, was that close. And that's a huge point. Could have been tied. Instead, you're down 24-22. You got to step up, though. In the middle, going to be sent down and out of bounds. And Valley City loses this third set 25-22 in a really, really tight nip-and-tuck affair with some calls going the way of the Comets. And Coach Graywater just has to say, forget about it. We're moving on to the fourth. Tough breaks all around. And we'll have that fourth set when we return to the Watertown Civic Arena. You're watching and listening to the Super 6 on YouTube. Three lead changes, 5 times the match was scored, the tied score, I should say, in the last set, as Mayville State, they win the third set by a final score of 25-22. Comets are plus 12 in terms of total digs, and they're going to go down 1-0 here to start up this fourth set, but the Comets are also plus 7 in terms of total blocks, as Morgan Freege earns her 9th kill of the contest. 13 kills for Bailey Nelson, 8 from Morgan Freege going into that before that last point. 10 kills each from Nicole Corton, as well as Elora Pesa, and now a service error from VCSU. But you know, the numbers are trending the right way if you're a if you're a Comet fan, as right now Comets out hitting the Vikings 168-127 as Adrava tries to give the dig attempt, but to no avail. Morgan Nelson earns the kill there, her 9th. But you're plus 12 in terms of total digs, and you're plus 7 in terms of total blocks. And you've got a better attack percentage as well. Those are all good signs if you're a Comet fan. Comets do trail 2-1 though in this fourth set. Big swing. I think that was contacted by somebody. I thought maybe not. Abby Cox on the swing. And VCSU earns the serve right on back. There's the dig in the middle. Good dig defensively by Clark. Fading away. Another kill for Nelson. That's Bailey Nelson. Her 14th of the contest to go along with 5 digs, hitting north of 290 here today. 4-1 the Vikings. Pesa setting up far side Corton. Valley City was ready for it though, gets through the block and down to the floor once again as Morgan Nelson. Tough to keep up with the Nelsons. The law firm of Nelson to Nelson. Of course, Bailey, her sister, elementary ed major there. Morgan Nelson doing a nice job. 5-1, the Comets down by 4. Hadrava with the dig, and now the Comets are going to be back down by 3 as Pyburn earns the kill there for MSU. Pyburn has had a nice day here today. 10 kills for her. For the Nevis High School native out of Minnesota, the Tiger. Again, another multi-sport athlete, volleyball, basketball, and softball in high school. Near side swing, blocked, but we're gonna have a whistle. And what do we have? Net violation on whom? We're gonna call it on Valley City. So the point goes to Mayville, 5-3. Comets down by 2. Hadrava jump float over the top of the tape. Pass by Richter on serve receive. And Hadrava somehow dug that one out. Great job by Pesa to keep that one alive. Sends it right over to Delaney Clark. Pesa gives chase, as does Hadrava, but not this time. Morgan Nelson with another kill. Give her 11 for the day here today. Lexi LaRue will check in. Hometown gal from Valley City High School, the highliner there. Volleyball, hockey, softball in high school there as well. Vikings up by 3. Near side swing blocked. Pesa sends it back. Hadrava gives chase on the top of the tape on the joust. Valley City's going to earn the point here as Sadie Hansen was there if you need her. 7-3, Vikings +4. Mayville State winning the first set 27-25, losing the second set 25-23, winning the third set 25-22. Pesa setting up a teammate right down to the floor for Pyburn. Ashley Pyburn, second team all-conference player this season. Second with this program in terms of kills, 274 coming into today. In the middle, another swing and another kill for Morgan Nelson, as the Nelsons are really finding their way here in this fourth set. 8-4 your score, as right back to the service line will be Ellie Rush, Champion of Character Award winner for VCSU. Rush with the approach, sends it over the top of the tape. Nice dig defensively by Pesa. Now in the middle, Pyburn is there again. Excuse me, Cora Johnson. That's 7, not 17. Johnson's third. Mayville State hitting 161 for the match, 149 for the Vikings. +10 in terms of digs is MSU. In the middle, just out of bounds. Was it contacted? It was not. Morgan Frigi with the attack air there. And the Comets, they draw ever closer. 8-6 your score in this fourth set. For those of you just joining us, Presentation College defeating Dakota State in the first match here today in straight sets. They advance to take on the Bruins at 5 o'clock. And the winner of this one gets Viterbo later on tonight at 7 o'clock. And down to the floor is Samantha Pesa for the kill. I have got her for 9. And now up to 10 after that last one. Nicole Corton, Elora, and Samantha Pesa all with 10 kills each. Elora Pesa officially with a triple-double as well. Near side swing, Hagler, dug out by MSU, somehow, some way. Near side, big rip, passed by Clark. Near side, pushed through, but right to Natalie Hadrava. You want to push it right to her. Big swing, near side. Guess who? Samantha Pesa. She's got 11. Yep, Elora with 10 kills, 26 set assists, and 11 digs. Not too shabby for a day at the office. And we're tied up at 8 apiece. Comets lead 2-1. Passed by Clark. Far side for Frigi. Mayville State was ready for it there. This is Elora getting through the block. Lexi LaRue with the pass. Near side Hagler. Hadrava down to a knee. In the middle, tap it over. VCSU staying alive. Hagler for Condon. Near side, Pesa. Richter is there again. Sadie Hansen setting up a teammate. But Mayville State ready for it. Near side gonna tap it over. Morgan Frigi there again. Near side Hagler. Hadrava down to a knee. What guts. Far side, big rip, but out of bounds. Samantha Pesa with the attack error there. Great volleying back and forth. And Roger Turnus came up here to the booth during the first match, and he says, man, this is high-level volleyball, isn't it? Yeah, I'll say. Really, really solid play here today from a lot of defense. Tapped over by Mayville State. Hansen going back row attack, getting through the block. Mayville State down to a knee, far side, Pesa. Right, though, to Samantha, Sadie Hansen, pardon me. Hansen gets it back, Hadrava puts a shoulder to it. Richter is there. Near side, Hadrava, diving arm, stop, kept alive, are you kidding me? What a play. Pesa sends it back. Vikings with the big kill, it's blocked. VCSU again, pushed through, down, but out of bounds. Oh my word. You want to talk about putting stuff on tape and on film to play defense. You watch the girls in black and white on that play. Mayville State, that is incredible defense. That is all guts. That's what you need to win in this time of the season, this tournament, what have you. That's a big block from Cora Johnson in the middle. 10-9 your score. Mayville State +1. Valley City State, they've got some guts too. They're not done. They're on serve receive. This is Hansen in the middle for Frigi, and down to the floor for Morgan Frigi. You know, I think they got to get her going here a little bit in this fourth set. Frigi now with 11 kills. Frigi can flat out play. She got off to a really hot start in that first set. Got to get her going here in this fourth and perhaps fifth set if you're a Viking fan. Down to a knee. Hill setting up Cox. Cut shot down. Abby Cox. She's got 8. Boy, you can just see the diverse attack from both of these teams. Cox with 8 kills. The Pesas have 21 combined. Horton with 10. 9 from Pyburn. 14 from Bailey Nelson. 11 from Morgan Nelson. Into the middle. Blocked for the moment. We'll have to send it back on over. Richter does. Gets through the block. Richter controls near side swing. Blocked for the moment, but kept alive and sent over and out of bounds by Pyburn. I thought that one might have almost gone off of the antenna as well, but out of bounds. And we are tied up at 11 in this fourth set. Back and forth and back and forth. It'll be Richter to serve from right to left, as you see it. Coach Graywater talking to some players on her bench a little bit, saying, you know, this is kind of the time where you got to dig down deep. You know, it's the fourth set. You knew that this was going to be a tough matchup for both of these teams, who of course went to 5 both times they played. You got to dig down deep, and Valley City now takes the lead after the block. Right there, Bailey Nelson was right there. Winner of this contest, don't forget, gets Viterbo tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on the Watertown Aero Activities Facebook, make that YouTube page, pardon me. This is a kill attempt by Mayville State Pesa. We're ready for it though. Valley City gets it right on back, and Emma Lucas hammers it down to the floor for her 7th kill of the contest. Valley City +2 now, as they're right back to the service line with J.C. Richter. Richter the approach. Jump serve sent over to Natalie Hadrava, the co-libero of the year, along with Adriana Reinhardt of the Turbo. And the kill attempt goes far and wide. And maybe one more point you surrender here if you're Coach Johnson. You take a timeout. 14-11 your score. Vikings +3. Richter to serve. Ball skyward. Ball over to Hadrava. This is Hill. Far side for Cox. Down to the floor. Keep that timeout right there in your back pocket. Right there if you're Coach Johnson. I thought she might take one if they surrendered a point, but we'll never know. 14-12. Laura Pesa sends it right into the net. Valley City gets that point right on back. It's 14-12 your score in favor of Valley City. And they are right back to the service line, and it's going to be Delaney Clark to put it in play for VCSU. Comes to the near side in that one zone. Pesa setting up a teammate. Somehow Richter is there again. Near side swing. Hadrava gave chase, but down to the floor for VCSU as Nelson earns the kill, her 15th here today. 16-12 in favor of VCSU, trying to extend this to a 5th and decisive set, and now Coach Johnson will utilize that timeout. We'll do likewise. We'll grab a sip of water and an orange slice if we're blessed, and we're back after this on YouTube. Valley City looking to extend this to a 5th and decisive set. Wouldn't have it any other way. Both teams battled to 5 the first 2 times they played each other. This is the grudge match. Mayville 1-1, Valley 1-1. This is Pesa with the backside slide for Pyburn. Dug out by VCSU. Near side swing for Nelson. Bailey Nelson says, we're going to 5. We're going to get on my back here a little bit, and I'll take you to the promised land. Bailey Nelson is just eating here in this 4th set. I've got her now for 15 kills. This is Pesa setting up far side for Corton. Gets through the block. VCSU got to set their offense up here. They'll 3-ball it over with Bailey Nelson. Here Mayville, you got to use this. Pyburn takes a big whack at it. Controlled by Richter. Near side swing for Nelson. Gets through the block. Nice dig defensively by MSU once again. Down to the floor. Boy, did they need that. Abby Cox with 9 kills. 17-13 your score. Mayville State looking to get back into this thing here at the service line from Natalie Hadrava, the co-libero of the season this year in the North Star. Natalie puts it in play. A little miscommunication. They'll dump it over. Hadrava somehow kept it alive for Pesa for another kill attempt. Ball kept into the air. And another dig by Mayville State. Got to use this. Pesa tomahawks it. Dug out somehow by Clark. Near side swing. Nelson gets through the block. Pesa in the middle. Now near side blocked, but Pyburn sends it back on over. Picked up by Valley City. Running roll shot. Mayville is there. Far side Pesa. Tap it over. Nelson is there. In the middle. Near side on the joust. It's getting through the block. Hadrava. Big rip for the kill for MSU. Nicole Corton bringing the juice on that one. In Brainerd, Minnesota, giving Mayville State some energy here. 17-14, Hadrava to the service line. Natalie puts it in play in that one zone, far side, near side swing, gets through the block for the moment. That's close to a lift, I thought. I guess not. Controlled by Mayville State, sent into the back row. Valley City a little bit out of system here. They'll send it, push it through for Hadrava. She is ready. Pesa, one ball in the middle, blocked, and down to the floor for Pyburn. You know, every time that Valley has momentum, Mayville State, they just snag it back. And every time Mayville State has the momentum, Valley City has had an answer. So, I mean, who's going to make the big play? Richter with the dig. In the middle, hard swing, it's blocked. Richter again, near side for Nelson, down to the floor. Big one for Bailey. Her 15th kill of the contest. Lexi LaRue will check in to serve. Puts Carmex on the lips. She says, I can't play with chapped lips. Just can't be done. She says, it's always on the bench with me. Valley City +3. Far side swing, dug out by Richter again. She brings her shovel. Near side, hard rip for Danielle Hagler. Her 8th. And just like that, Mayville State goes back down by 4. 19-15 your score. Lexi LaRue puts hand to ball, and having a hard time handling it is Mayville State, but they send it back. This is Hansen in the middle. Great dig by Corton, tapped over. Vikings try the dump. Mayville is ready for it though, from Hansen, near side. Good attempt, and down to the floor for Danielle Hagler. I've got Hagler now for 8. 20-15, the Vikings. Put in play into that back row. Got to go at the platform there instead. It's going to be Pesa. Great effort, though, by Richter. This is unbelievable defense by both of these teams. This is Hadrava. So set, go at the middle. Little back row attack. Richter with her platform puts it skyward. Going to be dumped over on the play by Hansen. Got to use this if you're Mayville State. Richter, incredible play. Hard swing. Hadrava was there. Far side. Big rip. Richter gives chase. It goes off of the antenna, and a kill for Samantha Pesa. Samantha Pesa with her 12th kill of the contest. Samantha was in high school. She said her team rallied back from a 24-1 deficit and won it in the playoffs. They've got a little bit of work to do here, down by 4, 20-16. Blocked for the moment. Mayville controls. Now they'll dump it over. Great dig again by VCSU. Hadrava puts her wrist to it. A running attempt. And coming up empty is Nicole Corton, and she's a little bit slow getting up as she just dove on the near sideline, and she ran into the stands as well. She took a shot, but she's tough. She'll be back as her right hip went down there, and you know, she's gonna stand up gingerly here. I think she's gonna be okay. She really took a hard shot there from the steel of the steps, and the point goes to Valley City. They lead at 21-16, and now head coach Johnson's gonna check on her and say we're gonna need a substitution here as Tyra Petrick is gonna check in. And I would be shocked if her day is done. Talking about Corton, that is. I mean, she took a shot there, but you know, she got up and a little bit ginger, but I think she'll be okay. I hope she'll be okay. Rush puts it in play. Mayville State on serve receive in the middle, tapped over. Rush gives chase, and we free-balled over by Frigi. Pesa, far side for Pesa. Blocked. Hadrava gets it back. Pesa in the middle for the kill. Cora Johnson. Her 4th. On her 13th swing of the contest. 21-16. And Rachel Hill checks in to serve. Valley City +4. Hill sends it over to Richter in that one zone. Far side dumped over. Mayville is ready for it. Near side, big rip down to the floor for Danielle Hagler. Hagler has had herself a nice day here today. They've got Hagler for 9 kills today, and we'll see what they got officially for her. The 22-17 your score right now. Put in play by Valley City. On-serve receive, Mayville State in the middle. Takes the swing. Valley City got to utilize this. Sent over to the Comet side of the floor. Pesa takes the swing. She's blocked. Great dig by Condon. And they'll try the pancake, but nobody else was there. Pancake was there, but there was no sausage. There was no bacon. There was no side. Point goes to Mayville State. 22-18 your score. Comets down by 4 as Samantha Pesa to the service line for Mayville State. Check out this replay right here with the defense. Man, I mean, just some of the plays that these teams have made, these players have made, just leaving it all out on the line, and you'd expect nothing else for a chance to dance in the national tournament. As a big swing in the middle from Freegee is out of bounds. Attacking air there. Comets 3 points shy. If you're Bridget Graywater right now, you just got to say, let's go back to what is good for us. Keep the ball away from, their back row of defense. It'll be tapped over. That's one way to do it. From Hagler, controlled there by the Comets. Swung on and kept alive in the middle. That's a great way to do it. That's close to a lift, but good job by Freegee. And now in the middle, they're going to swing it to the far side and free balled over. Pesa setting up far side for Cox. Blocked and down. That's a biggie. Morgan Freegee with the block, and that might be the straw that broke the camel's back here in this 4th set. If that point goes to Mayville, you're down by 2. Now it's up to 4. That's a big one. Danielle Hagler will serve for VCSU, 23-19. Hagler sends it over the top of the tape. Mayville State takes the big swing, and that is contacted by a Viking. Cora Johnson's got her 5th kill. It's 23-20. Comets lead 2 sets to 1. Winning the first set, 27-25. Falling in the second set, 25-23. Winning the third set, 25-22. They are -3, but they have the serve. Put over by Richter. Vikings send it over right to where nobody is. Bailey Nelson earns the kill right there, and she's got 17 today. Valley City State 1 point away from taking this to a 5th and decisive set. What did we say earlier? This would be the game of the day, you would anticipate. Hadrava with the pass. Little one ball in the middle for Pyburn. Valley City prepared for that last one. They're going to run the roll shot and down to the floor for Bailey Nelson. Nelson wins the 4th set, 25-20, your final score. And just as we anticipated, these two teams that played each other to 5 sets twice in the regular season, they'll do it again in the postseason. And we'll have that 5th and decisive set. 1st to 15, got to win by 2. That's coming up next on YouTube. going to a 5th and decisive set. Wouldn't have it any other way between these two programs. First to 15, you got to win by 2. Samantha Pesa, a dozen kills from Mayville State, 11 from Nicole Corton. Elora Pesa, Ashley Pyburn, and Abby Cox all have 10 kills each for MSU. Far side swing gets through the block. Hadrava somehow kept it alive, but not long enough. Down to the floor for VCSU and the kill as the Vikings earn the first point. Vikings with 19 kills from Bailey Nelson, 11 from Morgan Nelson, Danielle Hagler, and Morgan Freege with 10 each. J.C. Richter to serve for VCSU from right to left. Gets it over to Hadrava. It's one and done. If you lose, you are out. Pyburn hammers it down for Mayville State. That's her 11th kill of the contest. Winner of this contest gets a turbo tonight at 7 o'clock. Pesa puts it in play over to Richter. Tied at 1 apiece. Near side Nelson. Hadrava right there for Pesa. For Cox, tries the roll shot. Pass though, near side by Richter. Nelson sends it down the line. Mayville State was ready for it. Blocked for the moment. Hadrava is there. Pesa in the middle for Pyburn. Good kill attempt, but better dig by Hansen. Pesa is there once again. Pyburn in the middle. Near side swing gets through the block, but picked up on a knee by Hansen. Near side swing. Hadrava is there. Dumped over and down to the floor. Samantha Pesa with the kill. Hadrava, by the way, 40 digs this afternoon. Elora Pesa with 13 digs, 17 from Emily Condon, 23 from Richter, 20 from Hansen for VCSU. And that one's going to go even. Kill attempt and down to the floor. I think it was Lucas. And it's a 2-2 game. First to 15, you got to win by 2. Here's the serve by Clark. Pesa setting up backside for Abby Cox. Abby Cox hammers it down. I've got her now for 11 kills here today. 3-2 in favor of the home squad on the scoreboard. That's Mayville State. Richter on serve receive. They'll set up the slide. Dug nicely by Richter. Going to be sent over by Mayville State. Far side, dug out again by the Comets. Pesa setting up a teammate. We're going to have a whistle. I think there was a Viking in the net. And Mayville State is going to earn the double advantage, 4-2. Mayville State winners of sets 1 and 3. Vikings winners of sets 2 and 4. Vikings are maybe a little out of whack here on serve receive, send it into the back row. Pesa, far side for her sister Samantha. Do you take a timeout yet? I think it's a little early. If you're Coach Graywater, it's early. You're down 5-2. But she says, come on, let's set up the defense now. 3 across the back row in zones 1, 6, and 5. Far side to near side. Down to the knee for the dig with Clark. Hard swing. But right to a count, it's going to be dumped over. VCSU ready for it. In the middle, blocked. Richter kept it alive. Setting up near side for Nelson. She's blocked, but Richter is there again. They'll set up backside. Gets through the block. Hadrava. And now getting over the net was Elora Pesa, but right back over to J.C. Richter. Near side Nelson. Big rip. Blocked by Mayville State. Now Richter again with the play. And Mayville State keeps it alive in the middle for Pyburn for the kill. And now I think you take a timeout. Coach Graywater very upset about something in the middle. And now she'll utilize that timeout. 6-2 your score. Comets are +4. We are back to Watertown coming up after this. You're watching and listening to the Super 6 in the North Star. Comets +4 on the scoreboard right now in set number 5 as Natalie Hadrava sends it over to Richter. Got to win by 2, first to 15, and Valley City getting closer and closer as Nelson puts it down to the floor for VCSU. Vikings under head coach Bridget Graywater, alma mater of Minot State University, the Beavers there. They're just looking to chop some wood right now, down by 3. Here's the serve, sent over to the Comets. In the middle for Pyburn, she's blocked, gets it right on back. Pesa, far side swing, gets through the block. Great dig by Richter in the middle, kept alive by VCSU. Hansen in the middle, pushed through into the back, and that is down to the floor as Hadrava had a little miscommunication with Samantha Pesa, and Morgan Nelson picks up another one. And back-to-back points for VCSU, 6-4. Mayville State goes +2, but they're on serve receive right now. Passed in the back row on serve receive, near side going to be tapped over. Man, what a play on defense as Richter sends it over to the Comet side of the floor. Watch the dump, it's going to be picked up by Pyburn instead. Pushed through in the corner, far side. Comets were ready. Pesa for Pesa. Richter is there again. In the back row, setting up near side. Hagler goes with the left hand, and a great play by Pesa to keep that one alive. A big swing, but was it contacted? I think it was. And it was indeed. Nicole Corton with the kill. Nice to see her back after she exited earlier in that 4th set after making contact with the sideline, making contact with the stands here. 7-4, Comets +3. Here's the serve. Passed in the back row by Clark, setting up far side and out of bounds. Was it contacted though? One referee says it was. So Nelson earns the kill indeed. Coach Graywater says that ball was off of a fingernail. Head coach Lindsey Johnson says, say what? Referee was right on top of it. He immediately called it. And Mayville State not pleased, but the call is the call. 7-5, Valley City down by 2. Pesa in the middle, big rip, passed by Nelson. Near side Hagler, Mayville ready for it. Big swing down, that's a biggie for Nicole Corton, who left earlier, but obviously is back. And now once you get to 8 points, teams switch sides, first to 8. And you make the switch. Comets 8, Vikings 5. First team that gets to 15 wins it, and you got to win by 2. Both of these teams have played some incredible volleyball, not only here today, but also during the regular season against each other. Vikings beat the Comets once, the Comets beat the Vikings once. Both of those contests went 5, and today no different. I said earlier, this is going to be the game of the day, and it's shaping up to be. Comets at the service line for Rachel Hill. Vikings out of system here. Hagler sends it over, and now Hadrava gets kind of bent up. She looks like the okay though. Doesn't matter. Samantha Pesa hammers it down. And now it's 9-5, and Coach Graywater utilizes a timeout. 9-5, Mayville State. They can sense it, but the Vikings certainly not done yet. We're back after this. You're watching and listening to the Super 6 from Watertown. Comets are +4, 9-5 on the scoreboard. Here we are in the 5th and decisive set. Someone's going to win it here in Watertown. Winner gets the turbo and a service ace What a way to come back from a timeout if you are Mayville State, as Rachel Hill puts it down. Plans to go to grad school at UND or UMary for physical therapy. Her dad going to Mayville State as well. Her pops would be proud of that one. 10-5 the Comets. Big swing in the middle is blocked. Freegie's attempt was blocked. Now they'll get it right on back. Great dig by Pesa. Far side, this is Elora for the kill. What more do you want Elora Pesa to do? I mean, she's got a triple-double tonight. You might want her to sweep the floor afterwards. I mean, she'll probably do that too. And Elo puts it down, and Mayville State goes +6. Far side tapped over by the left hand of the Viking, but Hadrava was there, now tapped back over. Dug out by Hagler in the middle. Mayville State back on offense now. Far side Pesa takes the big swing, kept alive by VCSU, and a great attempt, but it comes up short by Sadie Hansen. And Mayville State just looking to outlast Valley City right now. 12-5 your score, and they are feeling pretty good about things. Rachel Hill, jump float, sent over, controlled by VCSU. There's the dump play, but Hadrava was right there. Hill, far side for Pesa. Richter is there. Will set up on the slide. Going to be tapped over nearly to the vacant area, but Hill gobbles up that territory. Now it's Valley City on offense, down by 7. They need a run. Hadrava with another dig. Near side Pesa. Good effort again by Richter. Far side, that is going to be Hagler, and Mayville State earns the point. 13-5. Coach Graywater with no timeouts left. Don't want to say that the Vikings are running out of gas, because they're not. Mayville is just a little bit better right now. 13-5 your score. Comets looking to up their record to 17-17 on the season. Sent over to Richter. Sent with the left hand of Freegie. Mayville controls. Pesa again. Samantha Pesa says we are 1 point away from winning this thing in 5. And an extended run by head coach Johnson's crew. And they're 1 point away. Rachel Hill, ball goes skyward. And Valley City a little bit out of system here. They'll have to free ball it over. Hadrava tries to push it back. And now this was Clark with the dig down the line. Far side, MSU controls. Far side, big rip. It's blocked, kept alive. Hadrava tried to give chase to it. But what a play by the defense of VCSU. And a good effort by Emily Condon on the floor there as well. Valley City not done yet. 14-6 your score. Sadie Hansen, the tornado from Oaks High School, will put it in play. She says, I need a pregame nap. Well, hopefully she got it in today, but right now, Mayville State puts Valley City State to sleep. 15-6 your final score as Mayville State, they advance to the Final Four as they will take on the likes of the 9th-ranked team in the country, the V-Hawks of Viterbo. Presentation College and Bellevue University is coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on the Watertown Aero Activities YouTube page. This was a fun one, and we knew it would be between two really good coaches and two really good programs and two high-quality programs indeed. With Mayville State and Valley City State, we anticipated as much, and a great season for head coach Bridget Graywater, getting this program back on the right track. It's going to be tough to say goodbye to Bailey Nelson for sure, but they will reload, no doubt about that. And they will watch the likes of Mayville State and Viterbo tonight, and Presentation College and Bellevue later on this evening as well. We'll take a break in the action. We'll be joined by the head coach of the Comets of Mayville State, Lindsey Johnson, in just a bit, and we'll run down some final numbers and put a wrap on the afternoon session from day 1 of 2 here for the Super 6 in Watertown.
To the microphone. Whew.
We are broadcasting live once again from the Watertown Civic Arena. Fun game to be a part of here with Coach Johnson, Lindsey Johnson of the Mayville State University Comets. And I said to you before the game, I said, I think this is going to be the game of the day. And you're like, well, we'll see. Well, so far so good. You'll take the win, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like your predictions are always really good. You say it when we play PC. You say, I mean, any time we play, you seem to know what's going to happen. I wish you could have told me that this was going to happen at the end, and then I could have been a lot less crazy in the game. But no, yeah, it's always a game when we play Valley. And with 2 5-setters this season, I suspected it was going to be a game.
Can you tell that to my wife, by the way, that I know what I'm talking about? Every once in a blue moon, I think I'm on to something just a little bit.
I think you're a genius.
Hey, I appreciate it. But what a performance by Natalie Hadrava, and you know how good of a player she is. We saw that against the Saints a couple of weeks ago. But, man, she just makes some incredible plays, and we've seen some incredible defense not only for her, but just in the first 2 matches that we've seen. It just seems like the defense in this conference is really just off the charts.
It is, and it makes the game so fun.
It
you
does.
know, when those are. I mean, we have such great offensive players too, but when the defense can keep it alive the way they do on both sides. I mean, J.C. Richter, that kid's a freshman. What she does out there is amazing. But yeah, Natalie. The best part about Natalie is she just plays ball. You know, she comes out every day and she just plays ball, and she doesn't overthink too much, and she has a lot of fun while she does it, so that's cool.
She's very, very talented indeed. And speaking of talent, I mean, how about Laura Pace? Another triple-double for her today. Just everywhere, digging, set assists, killing. I mean, she's just one of those players. I know you hate to lose players, but you also want to see them go and become, adults and contribute to society and everything. But it's going to be tough when you lose her.
Yeah, it is, and that kid has played through some adversity here. She is playing with so much pain right now that it is it's remarkable what she's able to do out there. She's got that leg injury, and she just battles, and she's such a competitor, and she's so smart. I tell her all the time, you don't have to get the big kill every time because you see the floor better than everybody else, and she does. She just gets it done.
Feels like everybody's got a little something at this time of the year as well, with whether that's an ankle or a knee or, running into the sideline here and you hit the
bench, yeah.
You hit the bench. I mean, that kind of probably had your heart in your throat there for a second. But,
yeah, it did.
When you win a match like this, obviously you'd always like to win in 3 because you still have to go to take on Viterbo. But how do you kind of get the gas tank, filled up before 7 o'clock tonight?
I think this game is the one you're supposed to win, and the next one's the one we're not. So I think, all we got to do is come out tonight and play to the best of our ability. And do I think we can beat Viterbo? Of course I do. Put a team on the floor. We had a great competition with them when we went over to Viterbo last time, and I think my kids are ready to play. But there's a lot less pressure on us. And so if we just come out and we play our one of our biggest strengths is our intensity. Our kids are always intense. They're always fired up. They always are. They come to play, albeit sometimes not till the second 3 set or the last 3 sets. But they do. And so we're going to show up tonight. We're going to play, and we're going to give Viterbo a game. And and that's the plan. So
like you said, you're kind of playing with house money to a degree because you're going up against the 9th-ranked team in the country. Is that obviously a message that you give to the squad in the dressing room saying, hey, we kind of did our part. Now let's just kind of put the ball in their court, so to speak?
Yeah, it's that whole we have nothing to lose by going out and putting everything out there. I have a group of pretty experienced players.
You do.
That have been here. We've actually been here where we have won this game, and then we've had to face Viterbo in the evening. And so we've been there where we've competed. We've been, this isn't the first, a lot of these kids' first rodeo. So But speaking of a kid's first rodeo, Abby Cox tonight.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was great.
that is the best performance we've had from her all season, and to have it today is huge. Sorry, I just threw that out there like I was the one asking questions.
No, that's okay. That's totally okay. I thought she played a solid game, hit a .138 tonight, 11 kills on 29 swings. I mean, this is kind of reminiscent of the first game from the PC offenses. You're just so diverse. It's not just one or two players that can go out and get you double-digit kills. I mean, you got Samantha with 15, Nicole with 14, Elora with 14, a dozen from Ashley, 11 from Abby. That makes teams pretty tough to beat and pretty tough to defend when you got that many players that can fill up the box score.
Absolutely, and what made this such a great competition is if you look at the other side of the ball
Same
with
thing.
20, 13, 10, 11, 8. I mean, they're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a lot younger than us, and I think that's going to be a team that they're going to be good.
Yeah.
They're already good. They're going to be great.
Yeah, Coach Greywater's doing a good job with that program, that's for sure. Well, I'll let you go ahead and rest the vocal cords. I need to do the exact same thing, grab some honey and tea and maybe some food, but appreciate it and good luck tonight.
Absolutely, thank you.
You bet. That's the situation where Lindsey Johnson, the head coach of the Comets of Mayville State, joining us here in the HKG Architecture booth is what I would say if I was on the radio side of things, but gave her a chance to kind of breathe and just decompress for a moment. Big one coming up tonight against the very, very talented Viterbo squad. We'll take a break in the action. We'll come on back and wrap things up with some numbers after this. We are back broadcasting live inside the Watertown Civic Arena. David Tewksbury on hand after a very, very fun competitive matchup, and we knew it was going to be that way between two really good teams, two very well-coached teams. As Mayville State, they earned the victory in 5 sets, and we talked about it at the outset. You had two teams that have played 2 5-set affairs. I think this one's going to go to 5, and guess what? It went to 5. No shock there. Give credit to Mayville State. Give credit to Valley City. What a fun one. 15-6, your final score as the Comets. They win this one in 5. Running down the numbers for the Vikings, first and foremost, they hit collectively 145 here today. Bailey Nelson was superb. I think her right arm might fall off. 62 swings here tonight. She hit 274. Also had 8 digs and 20 kills for her tonight. She was outstanding. Only 3 errors for her. Morgan Nelson finishes hitting 256, 13 terminations in this one, only 3 errors. So you've got 2 players combined there with that are sisters, Morgan and Bailey Nelson, combining for 33 kills and just north of 100 swings and only 6 combined errors. That is pretty impressive. You've got Morgan Freege hitting a .3 tonight, 39 swings, 11 terminations for her. And you had Danielle Hagler hitting zeros tonight, 62 swings. She did have 10 errors, but she also had 10 kills as well to go along with 19 digs. That is a double-double performance for her. Delaney Clark, the defensive specialist, finishes with 20 digs there for VCSU. J.C. Richter, just a youngster, but man, can she play. 29 digs for her. She was outstanding and also had a serve percentage of .947 tonight as well. Pretty impressive indeed just for a freshman like her. Sadie Hansen also with 23 digs and 53 assists for the double-double performance there for VCSU. For the Comets of Mayville State, they hit a .93 here tonight. Very diverse offensive attack. Samantha Pesa with 15 kills on 52 swings. She hit .212 here tonight to go along with 13 digs there as well. Samantha Pesa was filling up the box score, had herself a day along with a block as well. Nicole Corton, how about her? She hit .243. 14 kills, only 5 errors. Also had 4 digs on defense. You had 14 kills from Elora Pesa, 37 set assists if you need them, and how about 15 digs? A triple-double performance from Elora Pesa here tonight. She was masterful. Abby Cox, we talked about her with Coach Johnson there saying, boy, how about a performance from her? Boy, did she have one. Hits a .38 tonight, 11 kills for her. Abby Cox with 7 errors on 29 swings, but she had a really, really fine coming out party here today in Watertown. Ashley Pyburn hitting .256 on 39 swings, 12 put downs, only 2 errors for her. She also had 7 block assists. Conversely, for the squad for Valley City collectively, I should say, 6 total team blocks for VCSU, 11 for the Comets of Mayville State. As in the digging category, you had 133 digs for Mayville State. You knew that they would continue to bring those numbers here to Watertown, and they sure did again. They were the #1 ranked team in the country in terms of total team digs, and they had another performance like that right here today, and you knew they would, as Coach Johnson does a great job with this program, no question. 113 digs, by the way, for Valley City State. Coach Graywater's got this program on the right track, and I think this is going to continue to be a conference where you're going to see upward mobility with teams like Viterbo, Bellevue, and teams like Valley City that are continuing to impress when you've got your your standard staples there that have been very solid, but maybe ready to take that next step, talking about your Mayville States, your presentations. We'll have to wait and see what those teams continue to bring later on tonight in our nightcap as well. Collectively, 193 was the hitting percentage for Mayville State. Once again, 145 for the Vikings of VCSU. We had 38 times where this match was tied here today. We had 16 lead changes, and what did we say at the top of the broadcast? This could be the game of the day, and so far so good. I thought this would be a very competitive one, and indeed it was, with the Vikings falling in 5 to the Comets of Mayville State. 15-6, your final score. So later on here tonight, you've got a couple of pairings, the Final Four, that'll set up for the championship tomorrow, which will be at 2 o'clock. The Final Four is set up officially at 5 o'clock, coming up at the top of a couple hours or so from right now. You'll have Presentation College. We'll find out if that slipper still fits for that program. They'll take on the 14th ranked team in the country, the Bruins of Bellevue, as Coach Trish Sedlick has continuously taken this program to national heights. Talking about Bellevue, we'll have the broadcast for you right here. And then at the top of the following hour, following that, that'll be at 7 o'clock. That'll be the #1 matchup with Viterbo, of course, the #1 seed, as they will take on the likes of the Comets of Mayville State University. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab some water. I think that's my plan. Some water, maybe even a sandwich or what have you. This has been an absolute blast so far. Want to give a big shout out to Ryan Remmers' crew. This has been an absolute blast to kind of start up the day. We still have 3 matches ahead of us, 2 tonight, 1 tomorrow. Very much indeed looking forward to that. Join us, won't you? We'll be with you right here on our Facebook, or make that our YouTube page, I should say, the Watertown Aero Activities YouTube page as well. But for right now, until the nightcap, this is David Tewksbury saying ever onward, always forward, and never backward. We'll talk to you later on tonight right here on YouTube.